Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be looking at the best strikers, and in some cases, some of the worst strikers in the UFC. Now, most of this list is going to be coming from my community post. I asked for fan suggestions for a striker tier list, and you guys did not disappoint. In fact, this is probably the biggest tier list I have ever done, to the point that I'm going to have to do this in two parts. We'll see how I feel halfway through the video. But I'm looking at this, I see an hour and 30-minute upload. And listen, brother, I don't want to edit all that. So I'm going to do a two-parter, and then I will include more fan suggestions of any people that I missed in the lower weight classes for the higher weight classes, and then I'll put in some women's fighters. But as of right now, you can see we're pretty packed. And you know what? I think we just need to dive into this, okay? We're going to start with flyweight, and we're probably going to end at the end of welterweight. We'll see how I feel near then. First off, we're gonna be going in hot. Figueiredo. I know Figueiredo's no longer at flyweight. However, most of his striking prowess comes from the lighter weight classes. I guess maybe I'll talk about the Rob Font fight. Yeah, I will. Figueiredo has great power for not just flyweight, but also has power going in the bantamweight. His fight against Rob Font's really good. The Moreno fights, his fight with his striking is actually pretty underrated. His fight IQ as well. I would say his greatest assets would probably be, he's overall just a well-rounded fighter. Now, if I were to isolate his striking, it's nothing amazing. We're not talking about like an A-tier striker right here. I would probably go for like a mid-B tier. Definitely not a C tier, but I would say a mid-B tier striker is pretty fair. Jabs are good. Kicks are really good. I would probably say a mid-B tier. It's nothing outright amazing, but it flows together nicely. I'm going to say mid-B tier for Deiveson Figueiredo. Alexandre Pantoja. I would actually have to say close to the same thing. Figueiredo, though, I would probably say is a little bit better. I don't know, dude. Prime Figueiredo versus Pantoja. Figueiredo already beat Pantoja, but was that a prime Pantoja, though? But Pantoja beats Moreno, and Moreno beats Figueiredo 50% of the time. You see what I'm saying? Men's flyweight has the same problem as women's flyweight. It's so ridiculously top-heavy that if we judge it by who they fought before they, became champion, how good was your competition, though? That's my problem with men's flyweight, is it has the same problems as women's MMA. So I'm going to rank them according to their division, but I'm going to average it based off the rest of the UFC. And if I'm going to do that, Pantoja might be mid-B to B-. I'm going to put him behind Figueiredo. Now it's time for Moreno. If you can't tell, we started with a lighter weight class going up, just to make it easier on myself. Moreno. Where do I put Moreno here? I think they're all near the same skill level. That's the thing. Moreno might be a C+, though. Ooh, but he did liver kick Kai Kara-France. That liver kick to Kai Kara-France might put him up. Honestly, yes, no. That performance puts him up to a B. Dude, they might all be B tier. Legitimately. Okay, fuck it. Kai Kara-France also goes in B tier. Well, do I put Kai Kara-France? No, he got outstruck by Moreno. I might need to include more flyweights just to even the dispersion. But at the same time, I think B tier for all of them is pretty good. And Figueiredo's above Pantoja. Pantoja is above Moreno. And Moreno's above Kara. That's fair. Corey Sandhagen, A tier. A tier striker. His ability to switch stances at will is one of the most underrated skills in MMA that people are finally starting to understand, because it messes up your opponent's reads on you. If you are used to sparring with people that always go orthodox, which most people are orthodox, and then you fight somebody that goes southpaw, that's a difficult thing. Fighting somebody that mid-fight, when you're already exhausted, is switching from southpaw to orthodox and will completely change his striking pattern, that's a nightmare, dude. I actually think, as far as striking IQ to striking IQ, Corey Sandhagen might be the best striker in that division. Yeah, he might. I actually might. He might be a low S tier. There's going to be multiple S tiers in this video just because then it makes my job way easier. Yes, I'm going to say Corey Sandhagen is going to be our high A tier, probably one of the better in his division. But then we're going in hot into Petr Yan. That's tough. Petr Yan, the biggest problem with Petr Yan is the pace that he fights at. It's just not good for a sport. First off, Yan needs to fight 5 rounds. Like, if I'm like in a management group for Petr Yan, I will never take a fight that's not 5 rounds. But from what I hear, he did against Song Yadong. And Song Yadong is another person on this list that is scary. But I'm going to say with Petr Yan is probably going to be very low A tier. When he finally does get going, when he's finally warmed up, he is a phenomenal striker. Petr Yan versus Corey Sandhagen is probably one of my favorite fights ever in this sport. It's just striking pedigree between the two of them is amazing. Fight IQ as well. That might be a different tier list going over fight IQ. But I'm gonna say Petr Yan is probably gonna be our low A tier. Chito Vera. Okay, Chito. I'm just gonna say it's not that his striking is amazing by any means. His most impressive performance is probably the Dominic Cruz fight off the top of my head. I was not super impressed with the Pedro Munoz performance. The Sean O'Malley one was weird. You see what I'm saying? Like, Chito Vera's best fight is against Dominic Cruz. I don't think that's a controversial take. And it's not that he's a phenomenal striker. It's that he has better fight IQ than people realize. His ability to make reads on his opponent, which I guess you can go put under striking. But he's just so durable. Chito Vera might be one of the most durable fighters in the UFC. It's his ability of getting hit and hitting you that makes him just objectively impressive. And I'm going to have to put him at a high C tier. Holy shit, man. I can't believe I forgot Rob Font. Rob Font should be on here. Okay, we'll save that for part 2. Rob Font will be in part 2. Fan suggestions will go in part 2. But I'm not going to put that in right now. Chito Vera is a C+. Let's agree on that. It's not that he's a phenomenal striker. It's that he's more durable than the people that he's fighting, so he can take damage where his opponent can't. And that's how I would describe the Dominic Cruz fight. Ilia Topuria. Wait. I don't know why they're up there. Let's do the rest of bantamweight. Sean O'Malley. I would say Sean O'Malley's a better... Okay, hot take. O'Malley is a better striker than Petr Yan, but Corey is a better striker than O'Malley. I know... If we're just isolating striking, Corey Sandhagen might. Petr Yan's also taking a downhill. Like, I will say this right now. Petr Yan in his prime could have been the best bantamweight of all time. Like, it is wild that bro is on a losing streak, and we're actually talking about if he loses to Song Yadong, he could be cut from the UFC. He went from being somebody that the Weasel called could be the bantamweight GOAT to he's about to get cut from the UFC. I understand O'Malley beat Petr Yan. Again, I don't know. That's weird. That's a tough one. I would have to sit down and think about that one for a while, but we don't have that type of time. I will say Corey Sandhagen better than O'Malley, but O'Malley's movement, his lateral movement throughout the octagon and his ability to set up angles off of it is what puts him above a lot of people. And that's even what Aljamain said. Petr Yan probably has the best pace that he'll put on people in the later rounds, but Corey Sandhagen has the best IQ for striking. Yes. Yeah. Best arsenal of strikes as well. Song Yadong. One of the better boxers. I would ask Song Yadong. Song Yadong is a better striker. How about this? I'll put him as a B-. But then that kind of... Is Figueiredo a better striker than Song Yadong? I would say all around, yes. Song Yadong more or less has amazing boxing, but it's not like an Ilia Topuria style of boxing where it's like crisp. I need to see Song Yadong fighting higher caliber opponents. Figueiredo at least has proven skill for high caliber opponents. like Benavidez, like Moreno, Pantoja. Song Yadong is fighting Petr Yan. He did fight Corey Sand. Low B tier. Wait, how about this? Song Yadong above Kai Kara-France. Yes. Fair. I might even put him above Moreno. I think that's fair. Ilia Topuria. Not S tier. Holy shit, no. Ilia Topuria, as far as boxing, his boxing, he probably is the best boxer in the UFC. He might be. The only thing that I would argue I would need to see more of, I would need to see him fight somebody like Yair, who has a diverse arsenal of kicks, and somebody like Max Holloway that can mix up his strikes. And then I would put him in an S tier, but his boxing alone carries him to an A-. I do think he would beat O'Malley, just because Ilia Topuria also has power for 3 separate divisions, but if we're going purely based off striking, then he would be an A-. Dude, he is a jiu-jitsu guy that learned boxing within his MMA tenure. Like, Ilia Topuria, on top of everything else, is legitimately talented at boxing. Like, not everybody is going to get that good at boxing in the amount of time it took Ilia. Ilia just turned out to be talented. It's as simple as that. Max Holloway. Is Max Holloway an A tier? Yes, it would be blasphemy not to put him. I would say Max Holloway is better than an Ilia for now. Better than a Petr Yan. Striking to striking. Is Max Holloway a better striker than O'Malley? Yes. But Corey Sandhagen's a better striker than Max Holloway. Fight me in the comment section. I do not care. But he is an A tier. We can agree on that. A mid to high A tier. Yair Rodriguez. Yair Rodriguez is probably a B+. Like, don't get me wrong. His creativity carries him to a B+, and there is something about fighting people that aren't conventional strikers that really messes you up, because in the training room, you get so used to fighting people that are conventional that when you finally fight somebody that's just weird, that's what I'm going to call Yair Rodriguez's style, just weird and unconventional. You are going to get effed up. Because you're just not used to that. That's Yair Rodriguez. Josh Emmett fight was really good. He was doing relatively good against Volkanovski, but he doesn't switch his pattern. Like, he has something where, like, he is comfortable throwing certain combinations. As soon as somebody gets a read on that, you're going to get clipped. That's what happened in the Max Holloway fight, although it didn't end in a finish, but it did end on Max Holloway winning some of these exchanges. And that's what happened with Volkanovski. He made a read off a body kick and just clipped Yair Rodriguez. So, it's because he just doesn't mix up his striking pattern. I'm going to say B+, honestly. Yeah, I'm going to put him at a B+. Brian Ortega. F tier. Horrible. If somebody has to teach you how to block a punch mid-fight, you are an F tier. Okay? Not D tier. F tier. I'm serious about that. That is one of the most... For Max Holloway, it's one of the most baller moves you could make. For Brian Ortega, it's a testament to how good his grappling is, the fact that he stayed competitive at that division. Really based off his grappling. Yes, I know he has finishes, but at the same time, it's either he has gotten ridiculously worse, but like, what's the highlight of his entire career? Honestly. He had a close fight with Volkanovski. Like, I understand he had better performances, but the highlight of his entire career, he had a close fight with Volkanovski, and he dated Tracy Cortez. Legitimately. That's kind of been it. Yair Rodriguez is going to throttle this man. F tier. I'm sorry, not sorry. Arnold Allen. Is Arnold Allen a better striker than Cheeto? Arnold Allen versus Max Holloway. Maybe it's because I thought Arnold Allen was going to get destroyed by Max Holloway, but he turned out to be pretty good and was able to steal some of the rounds and win a few of the exchanges. Now, granted, lost. Like a unanimous decision lost. But at the same time, for people that try to do a striking match with Max Holloway, he did way better than most people. And I think that needs to be taken into account. Cheeto Vera, but Cheeto Vera beating O'Malley though, that is a fluke win. It's still a win. But I can't take that into extreme account. Okay. Arnold Allen. But then Cheeto had a really good fight against Rob Font. I'll put Arnold Allen just beneath Cheeto Vera purely because of the Rob Font performance. Alexander Volkanovski. Okay, the best part of Volkanovski was his fight IQ. It hurts for me to say was and not is because I think Volkanovski's on the way out. Now, as far as striking, good leg kick. Really good leg kick. Somebody put in the that last video's comment section, the reason he doesn't throw head kicks is imagine being built like Volkanovski and trying to hit a head kick on somebody that's built like Max Holloway. And that's a good point. I don't know why I didn't think about that. But that doesn't change the fact that you don't have a lot of striking in your... a lot of moves in your repertoire. Really. I was like, I really have to... I would say he's a better striker... Am I really about to put him in C tier? His fight IQ carried. I'm going to put B-. B- striking. S tier fight IQ. I think that's fair. Edson Barboza. I am a huge Edson Barboza fan. I actually think Edson Barboza is one of the most underrated UFC fighters ever. He has a murderer's row for his record. Fought people like Khabib Nurmagomedov, Justin Gaethje. I mean, he's fought the cream of the cream in the UFC. And his striking is amazing. I remember being a kid watching his spinning back kick KO that I think we all know what I'm talking about. And actually thinking the dude died. Like, I remember that vividly because I thought a man lost his life. But I'm going to say low A tier because I just can't. I think the boxing of Ilia Topuria is so crisp, it barely puts him above an Edson Barboza. Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje, I think the performances that are making him go higher is definitely going to be the Rafael Fiziev fight that I thought he was going to get creamed. And the Dustin Poirier fight. I picked I picked Justin Gaethje to win that, but I thought it was going to be by like third round because they were fighting at elevation. Nope, threw a head kick KO for the first time in his entire career against Dustin Poirier. Like, bro, that is crazy. And did drop Charles. Here's the thing, the difficult part about this list is you have to isolate just their striking. And I think if we isolate just his striking, he makes a good case for being... I would actually make... Is modern Justin Gaethje above Alexander Volkanovski in striking? I would actually say slightly. Very, very slightly. Not a better fighter, though. Better striking. Dustin Poirier. Dude... Dustin Poirier, I think he's going to lose to Benoit. I think Benoit Saint Denis is going to get it done, and that's another person that should probably be on this list. I'm going to put... Is Dustin Poirier... I might have to move some people. How about this? I need to put somebody in D tier. Okay, no, there's some people coming up that I can put in D tier. I'm going to put Dustin Poirier... a very, very high C tier. Purely because lately, okay, we have the Conor McGregor performance. We have the Charles Oliveira fight. We have Justin Gaethje. You see what I'm saying? Like, I have to put him at a high C tier just because of recency. If we're not going prime for prime, I still believe Edson Barboza is a crazy striker even right now. Yeah, I'm gonna put Dustin Poirier high C tier, C+. I might change that later on if enough people get angry at me for it though. Islam Makhachev. That's tough. Okay. I understand Islam Makhachev got a head kick KO on Alexander Volkanovski, but Volkanovski was fighting on 11 days' notice, and one of the things that Islam Makhachev has is he has the threat of a takedown. Sometimes the threat of a takedown does more than the actual takedown itself. Because if I think you're going to change levels going for a takedown and I put my hands down to prepare for a sprawl and you hit me with a crisp head kick, I'm going down. Like, it's not that his striking is amazing, but it's the fact that the threat of his wrestling sets more things up than anything. So I'm going to put Islam Makhachev. Okay, how about this? Let's go through this. Is Alexander Volkanovski a better striker? Is a better striker than Islam? Is he, though? How about that? This one hurts. Okay. Who's a better striker, Justin Gaethje or Islam Makhachev? Justin Gaethje, in my mind, if we go striking for striking, beats out Islam Makhachev. But I think if they actually fight, Islam Makhachev is going to ragdoll and might even TKO Justin Gaethje because of the threat of his wrestling. Rafael Fiziev. Dog, this is a tough tier list. I'm not even going to lie, dude. Okay, Justin Gaethje goes above Song Yadong. Song Yadong goes above Moreno. Okay, actually, the more I think on this, Moreno goes down to C tier. Yes, I'll put Pantoja down. Yeah. There just isn't a lot of competition at flyweight. Like, it's hard for me to put them up here when who are you really fighting, though? Like, really. So, okay, Justin Gaethje is a better striker than Song Yadong, Pantoja, and Kai Kara France. Islam Makhachev, is he a better striker than Kai? I don't know. I need to see Islam fight more people. Alexander Volkanovski is C+. Better striker than Dustin Poirier? I would say that's pretty valid. Moreno is better than Chito. Okay, that actually fixed it a little bit. Rafael Fiziev. Bro, striking is his only thing. But where it works for Alex Pereira, just having kickboxing, lightweight is just so much more competitive. It just doesn't work. I would actually put Rafael Fiziev as pure striking. He got outstruck by Justin Gaethje. Is Justin Gaethje underrated? Is he? I'll put Rafael Fiziev next to Yair Rodriguez. Justin Gaethje might actually go. I'll put Justin Gaethje above a Yair. Rafael Fiziev is just 2 spots below Justin Gaethje. Fair? Fair. The more I think about it, Justin Gaethje has gotten better with Trevor Whitman than I think a lot of people The more I think about it, the more it makes sense, okay? Charles Oliveira, hot take. It's not that Charles Oliveira is a great striker. It's that people are so terrified to go to the ground with him that he can afford to make mistakes. That's what happened in the Justin Gaethje fight, the Dustin Poirier fight, the Michael Chandler fight. It's not that he is a phenomenal striker. He is good. Make no mistake about it. He is a good striker, easily a B tier. But he has to clip you. He will get hit before he hits you. And I think when he fought somebody like Islam was able to take advantage of that. Islam Makhachev outstruck Charles Oliveira. What am I supposed to say to that? But I know this looks bad, having Justin Gaethje this much higher, but he gets hit too. Oh my lord, this is the toughest tier list I've ever done. Okay, I'll move Yair Rodriguez above a Figueiredo. Islam Makhachev is a better striker than Pantoja. Charles Oliveira is a better striker than Pantoja. Fair? Wow, okay, there's no timestamps on this video, okay? Paddy Pimblett. Oh, finally, an easy one. D tier. Okay, it's in the thumbnail. I have to put him in D tier. Listen, how many more fights in the UFC does he have to have for us to realize that he does not put his chin down and he is going to get horrifically KO'd a few more fights in? Like, I would argue Arman Sarukian's more polished than him, and he's younger. Ilia Topuria, also younger. He's just not that good at striking. D tier. He's not an F tier. Like, I think you can make some improvements. Brian Ortega's not improving. But, Bobby Green, you know how Strickland has, like, a hands-down Philly cell style and doesn't get hit? Bobby Green does that, but does get hit. Yeah, C tier. He's below Dustin Poirier. I would actually put him above a Cheeto, but mid C tier. His striking's... He has the journeyman striking. He humbled Grant Dawson, who was an 8-1 favorite, remind you. But other than that, really wasn't amazing. He does have some good performances, but they're kind of cans, though. Jalen Turner might have retired the man. Okay? Like, he's not amazing. Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards is... he's one of the better strikers there. I'll put him above a Edson Barboza. Because of his diversity of strikes, I'll put him above an Ilya. Because his pace... Actually, nah. Piotr Jan's better. Yeah, that's better. Leon Edwards is a mid-A tier. I think that's fair. Okay, Corey Sandhagen's going to an S tier. The more I think about it, the more he earns it. There's multiple S tiers that are going to be here. But I think Corey Sandhagen... If we're going off of the best strikers in the UFC, Corey Sandhagen makes a really good claim to it. That might be the yes tier for this video, and part 2 I'll do a few more. But I think that moves things around easier for me. Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy literally built an entire career off striking. Like, he is an all-time great striker. I would put him slightly above an Edson Barboza. Ilya. I do put him above an Ilya. I think it's Ilya's boxing that carries everything, but Wonder Boy is so good at striking, as in its entirety. I have to put him up there. Is Leon a better striker than Wonder Boy? Yes. Wait. No. Wonder Boy's a slightly better striker, but don't get me wrong, Leon Edwards would beat Wonder Boy just based off the rules of MMA. But yeah, I'd put Wonder Boy mid. He also has a crazy kickboxing record that has to be taken into account for a little bit. Ian Gary. Ian Gary's biggest thing that he has going for him is his distance management. That's not meant to be a joke off the Jeff Neal performance and basically him treating it as track and field. I will say this. Jeff Neal hits really hard. I don't think you would want to be in the pocket with Jeff Neal. Like, imagine being as hated as Ian Gary and getting KO'd. You might just want to hang it up. But Ian Gary is striking. Distance management's good. He got dropped by a can, though. Like, some people are looking at, he might have a bad chin. He might actually have a bad chin. He has that vegan chin, dude. Ian Gary's probably going to be in our mid-B tier. Again, he built a career off striking. Ian Gary, I would actually say, is a better striker. He literally built a career off striking. What am I thinking? Yes. He's not as good as them, though. Not as good as them. He's built perfect for strike. Yeah, no. Mid-B tier, I think, is more than fair. Yes, I do believe Wonder Boy's a better striker than Ian Gary. I really do believe that. Shavkat Rakhmonov. Dude, he's really good. Is Shavkat Rakhmonov a better striker than Ian Gary? He might be. He might. The best thing that Shavkat Rakhmonov has is the fact that he's one of the few fighters that takes advantage of clinching when they're in the pocket and does it very well. Look at the Jeff Neal performance. It almost reminds me of like the Diaz bros in their prime. Whenever they would get into the pocket, they would link up, throw a little punches. But in this case, Shavkat Rakhmonov will link up a knee, exit on an elbow, and then he'll start striking at distance. Jeff Neal rocked him, but Jeff Neal also has crazy power. I would actually say, I could have added Kevin Holland into this. Yeah, no. So Kevin Holland, and I don't know who I named earlier, is going to be added in part 2. But Shavkat Rachmanov, I would probably say I like his striking style. But how about this? I'll put Ian Gary. But then there's the rumor that Shavkat KO'd Ian Gary. I'll put Shavkat Rachmanov as just below Ian Gary in the striking department. JDM's boxing's really good, dude. Now, some people take it a little bit too far. I wouldn't say he would be an A tier. I would love to see JDM fight Ian Gary. I think Ian Gary, as far as striking as its entirety, is a better striker. JDM has better boxing than Ian and better in the pocket. Shavkat Rachmanov is just all around better than both of them, but he's so close. Like, he has striking near the level of a JDM and an Ian Gary, but has grappling near the level of a Gilbert Burns. And he's just so well-rounded, I think, that he's one of the most well-rounded fighters in the UFC right now. But yeah, I would probably say Shavkat Rachmanov's a better striker than JDM. It occurred to me just how many... Yeah, no, Shavkat's a better striker than JDM. I'm sorry. Colby Covington, D tier. Okay, we need to wake up. Colby Covington built a career of having 2 close fights with Kamaru Usman and being a troll. Let's accept that. That's what happened. Like, after the Leon Edwards fight, you can't talk all that crap and then put on the performance that you did. I would respect Colby Covington so much more if he just got flatlined KO'd against Leon Edwards. And I know somebody's going to go in the comment section saying, oh, well, he broke his foot. Okay. This is my view. You broke your foot in a fight. You broke your foot in a fight. No. You didn't break it. Leon Edwards broke your foot in the first round. Okay? That's what really happened. There was something like that happened between Robert Whittaker and Paulo Costa. Some reporter said, Paulo Costa said he popped his knee when you stomped on his knee in the fight. So I hurt you in a combat sport. That's what happened. Why are you asking me like that's a problem? That's how I feel about it. Like that actually kind of bothered me when Colby Covington said it, purely because, brother, so he checked a leg kick. You threw a bad leg kick. That's what happened. Okay? Yeah. D tier. But he's better than Patty. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Gilbert Burns. I love Gilbert. Gilbert has one great move, and that's an overhand right. And he has crazy power for welterweight. But he's nothing too crazy. I would actually probably put him in a low C tier. Yeah. Low C tier for Gilbert Burns, I think, is fair because, let's be real, he has an overhand right and some hooks and good jiu-jitsu. That's pretty much Gilbert Burns. Yeah. I don't think I need to explain myself. And because I kept on bringing up Jeff Neal, I'll do Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal is probably a lower C tier. It's his power, dude, but zero cardio. Like, his cardio is so bad it actually brings down his striking score because I can't see a lot of your striking if you get gassed in the first round. Also, TKO'd Bilal Muhammad. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff Neal. I think that's going to be it for part 1 because we have all of these guys plus the women's MMA and a few people that I forgot. So you see what I'm saying, that we're going to have to do a part 2 of this. Go in the comment section. I'll probably do another community post of all the people that should be added. If you have a problem with the placement of any of these, and if you make a compelling argument, I will cite your comment and I will fix it in part 2. That's another reason. I want to give myself some room to fix because I've also had some pretty horrific takes on this channel that I want to write. And that, I think, is going to be it for the video. This part of the video, at least. Keep an eye out for part 2. That's either going to drop tonight or tomorrow morning. It depends. I just want to get this out, save myself some time on the editing and the upload time. And with that out of the way, I think that's going to be it. Thank you guys for watching the video, and adios.